Hello everyone, hello there. It is me, that divination witch, and I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another witchy video, this time in my series of different spirits, deities, entities that I've met. And when I say met, it's in a spiritual capacity. I don't believe they're standing physically in front of me. Some of these beings I've been fortunate enough to work with. Some I've been the messenger. Because being that divination witch, it means I do a lot of readings for people, and I have spoke with a lot of spirits that I wouldn't normally get to speak with. I'm very privileged that way. And so I like to share in this series different spirits that I've met with, worked with, give you my opinions, how they've presented to me, because hopefully it'll help someone out there who might be interested in whichever spirit it is, because sometimes there's been spirits that I've encountered and there's literally like nothing online about them, like a paragraph on Wikipedia, and you're like, okay. So yes, this is how I experience different spirits, and today you will know who it is from the title. It's been a long time coming, but I'm going to be talking about Valac President Valac. Let's get into it. I just want to say hello and welcome, and if you're new here, I hope you stick around. My name's Sarah, I'm that divination witch, and this is a witchy safe space I've set up to help people. I answer questions. If you've got any, put it below. Nothing silly. Everyone starts somewhere, and I try and help people, keep an open dialogue, keep it friendly, a safe space. If you like that, hit subscribe. And I also have a link tree below if you want to support me and my channel. I've got a shop where I do readings, a website, a Patreon, I've got all sorts of different links. And if you do support me through that, I wholeheartedly thank you, because that helps me do what I do. President Valac, or Valac, as I'm going to refer to them, him, is a demon. A demon that is a member of the Ars Goetia. And, you may have heard the name thanks to some popular movies, the Conjuring movies, The Nun, all of those ones. Valac is the nun in those movies. Or Valac, I think they say in those movies. However you want to pronounce their name, it doesn't really matter. But they are a member of the Ars Goetia, and they present, and I'll put a picture on the screen, they present normally as a cherubim with a two-headed dragon. Now, when it comes to the Ars Goetia, all of them, the Ars Goetia are a set of spirits that were found within a certain grimoire, Solomon's grimoire. It's King Solomon from the Bible, from Abrahamic belief. Now, it depends on what side of the coin you're looking at here. But Solomon, in a nutshell, imprisoned these spirits in different seals. And I'll put a picture up of Valac's, but he supposedly imprisoned them in these seals and forced these spirits to build the Temple of Jerusalem in God's name. He enslaved them, essentially, because these spirits were supposed to be evil and demonic and not nice. One of the most famous ones is King Asmodeus, and he and Solomon really don't get along, in that mythology at least. Now, if you read the Testament of Solomon, which is the story of this, there are other demons mentioned that are not in the Ars Goetia. Anepsagos is one of them, who I've done a video about ages ago, but she always sticks in my mind due to the similarities drawn between her and Hecate, both being three-headed, three-formed goddesses of the moon and all of this. And the way I see it, it's a way of demonizing other spirits. Because I've recently found out, I'm always researching, I always keep an open mind, and I always try and keep up to date with my information, and I let you guys know what I know as I learn. But I think it was King Josiah, I think that's who it was. It was through speaking with a deity I found this out, that it was one certain king, a mortal king, that outlawed the worship of other gods. And that's what's written into the Bible, etc. So, to me, the Ars Goetia are not exactly all evil and demonic the way the Bible may say, or Abrahamic traditions may say. Some of these spirits were once gods and goddesses in their own right. Baal is one of them. Astaroth or Astarte is another. That's two off the top of my head. There are others as well. So to me, Valac, who is to say that they weren't a god from an ancient pantheon or a spirit from an ancient pantheon? But I'm not saying they're all love and light or anything like that. Most definitely not. But yes, I feel at this point, and I know Valac shares the sentiment, that a lot of them own the title demon. It's like, right, well, you want to call me a demon? Fine, I'm a demon. And, they can do good and they can do bad. And I'm not saying, like some people who's fearmonger on here like to say, that demons, people like me, say they're all misunderstood. Bullshit. No, they're not misunderstood. You piss them off. I wouldn't want to be you. They are capable of bad things, but they're also capable of good. And my story with Valac shows this. I was terrified at first. Okay, I will hold my hands up. And there are still moments that I think, oh my word, what if I'm wrong? Even though logically, I think, well, no, historical facts say this, that, the other, and look at it from all different angles and points of view. But it's so easy in the world we live in, because I get bashed with Christian comments all the time, because people are so susceptible and so into it and brainwashed, for lack of a better word, you're brainwashed and you're fear-mongering. It's easy to fall prey to that, to fall victim to that. And it's easy to think, oh crap, maybe I am going to hell. Oh no. Because it's fear-mongering. It's why some occultists, do get scared in the end, especially if you've got traumas and things. I mean, I've got trauma. Isn't it easier to go along with the flow, to be another sheep in the flock? It's easier to go along with things. It's less hassle than to break the mold and be like, actually, is religion not just controlling us here? Because let's face it, even if I was a follower of Jesus, I mean, I love Jesus to bits. I do. I think he is a lovely energy to be around. But the teachings spouted in his name are horrible. And the actions of some people are disgusting. That's real evil to me. To scare someone into following it, into following him, a religion that was man-made. I mean, I could go on for ages. When Valac first made themselves known to me, I was afraid, okay? I can't say otherwise. I was. At this time, it was a few years into my practice. I was already actively working with Hecate. I was actively working with Lilith as well. And Lilith, too, is a demon, sometimes known as a goddess as well, but she owns the title Mother of Demons. She's like, yeah, call me a demon, whatever. And even with Lilith, when she first reached out, I was scared, but she took her time with me. So at this point in my practice, I was comfortable, I suppose, with Lilith and Hecate and other dark energies. And I had even spoke with demons for other people. I was starting to do readings for other people. I wasn't as good as I am now, but I was venturing out into helping others, I was starting that. And it was around the time as well, I've mentioned it before on the channel, I was researching different paths and I was curious, looking into angels. I found out who my guardian angel was. So naturally, I was curious, who is my guardian demon? And Valac came up. He came up in a reading with another person and he came up in a reading with me. And I'd only heard of him through the horror movies aforementioned. I was a novice when it came to demons and the Goetia and demonology. I was just dipping my toes in. So I shat myself. I can't lie. I was afraid. I was thinking he's going to eat my soul. He's going to hurt me. All of this. He kept giving me signs that he was around and symbols to do with him. He's linked with serpents and the dragon. He is known for weeding out the snakes, meaning the liars and people who don't have your best interests at heart, which I'll get into in a bit, okay? But he was giving me signs, and I kept seeing adverts for The Conjuring, and not just on social media, but I think it was one of the Conjuring movies was coming out around the time, and I was just seeing the posters and everything everywhere, and I was having nightmares as well. Now, demons can provoke you to have nightmares. Not just demons, darker energies and entities, and that can make you feel scared as well, because you think, well, what they're giving me a nightmare for? They must hate me, must want to hurt me. No, they're triggering you on purpose to address something. Hecate sometimes does that as well. That doesn't mean she's evil. She can give good dreams too. They all can. Angels can give you a bad dream as well, just saying. Anyways, just want to put that out there. So I was just getting these signs, and they were kind of non-stop until it was like, right, you must acknowledge me now. So I did. And I welcomed him into my life and into my practice. And at first, he was fine with being treated the same way I was treating all my other deities. He had a space on my altar. I worshipped him in the same way. He had a candle. I worked with him in the same ways, say I would Hecate. Nothing fancy, no summoning demons or anything like that. It was just what it was. But it got to a point in my practice, and I've said this on the channel before, because I was researching so many different paths. I had deities to do with my ancestors coming in. I had, different members of certain pantheons, because I was working with one pantheon, then they bring their friends in, sort of thing. For example, working with Hecate, Zeus is now in my life, and I've spoke with loads of other Hellenic gods because of Zeus as well, like for example. So it was just getting too much. So in the end, Valac said to me, basically, you're not ready. Maybe one day in the future we'll work together, but I'll always care for you. I'm looking after you. He said that he was one of my guardians. Just FYI, my guardian angel is Raphael. And this is not the personal spirit guide type guardian angel. It's kind of like how you have a patron deity. So Valac is my patron demon. Let's say it like that. So yeah, I let him go. And it was a bit upsetting, sad. But I wasn't going to be a demonologist. I still don't want to be just a demon. Like, I don't want to be worshipping just demons. Although I suppose I do work with some now. That's not all I do. I'm not a Luciferian. I'm not a Satanist or into anything like that, or summoning them, which I'll talk more about different demons I've worked with as time goes by, or even encountered. But in recent times, what I will say is Valac has came back to me, and they're back in my life and practice. They're not the only demon that is. There are some infernal kings that I'm getting help with at the moment, help from, I should say. But yes, they went away for a while until I was ready. And now it's like, right, more, Sarah. You're ready. So he's here helping me. And he's not the only one helping me. My practice at the moment, I still say I'm like the crooked path. I'm in between the left and the right. I see all angles. But I'm more left-hand path leaning at the moment. And that's for several reasons. Personal reasons I'm not always comfortable sharing on YouTube. But you could say I am left-hand path at the moment. Given some of the strong dark energies that I am working with, but dark doesn't always mean evil. In a nutshell, I've been repressed a lot of my life and hurt and abused and traumatized, and I have repressed emotions that they are bringing out and helping me heal. and that's why they're there. And I don't think anyone else would really be capable of that. I do speak and work with angels sometimes too, because believe it or not, they can work alongside each other. But I feel I need this nitty-gritty darkness to weed it out, to pull it out, because I've some deep rooted hurt inside of me that I'm not comfortable telling you what it is. It's too vulnerable. But even I know it's there. It's all I can describe it as. I'm seeing it in my mind now is like a ball that's like, imagine like a deep, like a weed. And you know how, say, you have weeds in the garden and the roots go so deep, they're hard to get rid of. It's like that. I need to get rid of the root. I haven't done that yet. That's what they're helping with. As part of looking after me, because I said how Valac was my guardian demon, Valac was integral in getting rid of some toxic people from my life, and I am so bloody thankful to him. And these toxic people may even be watching this video, because I know I know what they're like. See, I'll tell you, I think I've said on this channel before, but before my spiritual awakening, I was part of a friendship group that I was in from school, basically. And one of these people in particular, I'd been friends with since I was 16-year-old. I'm currently 34. It's a long time. We used to do all sorts together. If there was a gathering, if there was like a New Year's party, a birthday party, we always met up. It was always the same group of us. But these people are known sometimes to be a little bit bitchy, but old me, before my awakening, I didn't really value myself so much, and people pleaser, I would go along with it. I would go along with things that they said and did, and I was very submissive. I didn't want to upset people. I didn't want to rock the boat, so I would be unhappy and put myself in situations and be treated like crap, really, just to keep a friendship. To be honest, looking back in hindsight, it had been that way for many years. But I didn't want to lose these friends, because we've been friends since school. And then as you get older, you may realise this as well. Your friendship circle kind of dwindles and you think, well, I'm going to have no friends here. So what's going on? And I remember it was a few years into my practice, this particular friend caused some BS. We were at a New Year's party and I had a sigil of Valac. I still have the ring. It was a ring with his sigil on and a necklace of Lilith's sigil on. And they asked what they were. Now, we were at a party. We'd been a bit drunk. A bit more vulnerable, I suppose. And there was no argument. There was no fighting, but I explained who Valac and Lilith were. And this person as well was supposed to be my best friend. And, they were into horror movies and stuff like this. I was the scared one of horror movies. But now I see how manipulative they were. And, we're all adults. They're actually older than me. And this person, we had that conversation. But we said after this New Year's party that we needed to meet up again, because when you're an adult, you drift apart. Get busy with stuff. Oh, we need to meet up more often, hang out more. We've been friends for years. You should come over. All this shit. Oh yes, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you after I've, nursed my hangover. They didn't. They ghosted me. I texted them. It upset me. It dragged on for a while, where they were ghosting me, and this was obviously New Year, so January time. And then March time, another friend in the friendship group, which is so funny when I think about it, her baby, she was getting a christening for the baby. Now, I've got nothing against that. This witch got the baby a christening gift and a card and everything, and went to the church and everything. I went to the little party after too. I didn't burn. I was fine. But yes, this other friend who caused the shit, who was toxic and ghosting me, he conveniently didn't turn up at this christening thing, but everyone else in the group had, even me, who everyone thought I wouldn't, because of my spiritual beliefs, but I did, because I've got nothing against Christians. If you're respectful and don't shove it down my throat, we can coexist, it's fine. And he'd been saying stuff behind my back to other people in our, in the group, and I was trying to ask, well, what's his problem? Why is he doing this to me? And in the end, he was scared. He was scared of me and of my spirituality. It turns out that was Valac weeding out the snakes. And it took me a long time to figure out who it was. I thought, well, F you, this happens in a spiritual awakening. To be honest, you do lose people that you thought were friends, It happens to us all. Who's meant to be in your life will stay in your life, If they're not matching your vibration, if they don't get it, then were they ever really a friend? Obviously, this person was never really my friend. And if they've been saying stuff behind my back and I only know the mild version and what my intuition tells me and what spirits tell me. But yes, it was him protecting me. Sick of you being used, he said. He used you. He was a sponge. And you're better than that. And look at you now. You have flourished. That's him saying that right this moment. Thank you, Valac. Thank you. But yes, he did his job, as my guardian, as the one interested in me, looking after me. He looked after me. He weeded out the snakes. And now I never hear from this person. And I never want to hear from this person. I think over a year later, he tried to call me on WhatsApp and I told him to F off and blocked his number. But I know from what a bitch he is. And if he watches this, you are a bitch. You're a little bitch. You'll be still calling me names, having a laugh at my YouTube. I know yous all will. Well, guess who's making bank, bitch, and who isn't? So I digress. That is what Valac has done for me. And to do that, did I need to summon him? Did I need to give him my blood or my soul or all this BS? No. Did he want it? No. Does he want it? No. He's just in my energy. He is helping me. And I suppose with any deity, worshipping them, respecting them, giving them your time and energy, well, that feeds them, that keeps them going, whether that's Valac or Hecate or Jesus, Now, how do I see Valac, just to finish this off, because I haven't even said how I see him. Yes, he usually presents as a cherubim with a two-headed dragon. And by the way, I've always been drawn to dragons, and there's lots of things I can tell you about dragons too. But at first, way back when, he never appeared to me as that, because he knew I would even freak out. Something about kids. Kids freak me out. Sorry, we were all kids once. But what I mean by that is, in horror movies like Damien or like possessed evil kids and stuff like that, I don't like that. And I know he's not evil, but there's something about it that put me off. His energy, it's because his energy is ancient. Even though he may present young, it would be the same if it was an angel appearing to me like a baby. I'd be like, oh, what the heck? Why is this baby talking to me? Is this boss baby? No, that's weird to me. And deities, spirits, etc., appear to you in the forms that you're most comfortable with and can handle. Over the years, angels first appeared to me as either humans or light energy, but now I've seen some of their true forms, whereas before I wouldn't have been able to handle that. So Valac normally appears to me as a young man, young and slender. And when I say young man, I want to say about 19, 20, that age group. And he has long hair, a bit like me, and actually wears it like this. Maybe it was him that said, put your hair like that. Like half up, half down. Brown, black, maybe a bit darker than my hair. Longish hair, slender, and he's normally well-dressed, smart dressed. He's showing me now, yes, he can sometimes wear a suit or a shirt, but sometimes he wears what I would call a Jesus robe, but I know it's not just a Jesus thing, you know, like oldie times, Middle Eastern dress. But he's always smart looking, clean shaven, smart looking. And for some reason I see him with a wand sometimes, like a walking stick sort of wand. And yes, he does have a dragon. And he told me their name was Sophia. But I know that can mean the Holy Sophia. So I'm not sure what that's about. But that's what he told me. I don't know if anyone else has heard of this. There's very limited information out there about him, but that's just my UPG, and that's what he told me. I don't think he minds me sharing. And that dragon is red, and yes, they do have two heads, and they're quite funny. They don't speak. It's more, when it comes to dragons, I'll have to do a video about them. There's different classifications of dragon spirits, and some are more primal than others. Some, I suppose, for lack of a better way of putting it, some are more like familiars, like humans have pets, you know, some are more like that, animalistic, that's it. And others are very wise and all-powerful god figures, you know. I once met, I've met Leviathan, Jormungandr, but I forgot his name. It was a Japanese storm god that was a big dragon. He just popped into my head there and I forgot his name. But yes, something like that. I forgot his name. It's years ago I met him and he suddenly popped in my head. Anyways, that's how I see him. He's very smart. He doesn't tolerate bullshit. He likes things done his way. Like, if you're going to work with him, listen to him, be respectful. Be prepared to lose people and things that don't serve you, because he does weed out the snakes, and he also can help you find ways to make your fortune. You know, he can help you prosper. He can help you in business. He's a smart businessman. He knows his stuff. There's another demon who's recently helped me be more eloquent, even though I still say silly things, but I think Valac and him really get along. I nearly said wrong, and then they laughed at me because that's not eloquent. His name's Renov, by the way, which I'll speak about him again at a different point. But yeah, that's Valac, and he's nothing like the nun. Nothing at all like the nun. I feel sorry for that's an actual woman who plays the nun. Like, all right, they may have put some makeup on her face, but her face actually looks like that. Poor lady. Like, looks can be deceiving as well. She might be the most lovely lady in the world, you know. Gosh, you got to have some confidence to play something like that, you know. You got to have some confidence in yourself to want to be known as like a horror monster, you know. Anyways, I'm digressing. So if you like this video, if you made it this far, hit thumbs up. If you want to learn more about different spirits, demons, deities, angels, you know, I've got a whole playlist of different spirits I've encountered. If there's anyone you're interested in, I might have encountered them because I've encountered quite a lot over the years. So plop it in the comments below if you're interested. And don't forget, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.